Perfect. Welcome everyone to the first ever In the Shed podcast. This is episode 1. We're here, me and Colin. We're going to talk a little bit about the Makerspace project today and what started this podcast, and a little bit about ourselves. And so Colin, what's your background? Where do you introduce yourself and what's your background basically?
Yeah, so I'm Colin Oldford. Closer. I'm Colin Oldford. I'm a mechanical engineer. My background, like I said, I work with local. Should I say IOC?
Yeah.
Yeah, I work as a maintenance engineer here at local IOC or Iron Ore mine here. But my real background, I guess, is that I've come up through the engineering program, always being the hands-on engineer. So that's where I got my first little involvement with the makerspace mentality.
Cool, yeah. And I'm Eric Tremblay. I'm originally from Bathurst, New Brunswick, and I've been living here in Labrador West now for 5 years. My background is, I'm kind of a maker. I just like making things. My education, I don't have any education. I'm just basically self-taught in everything I do. I learn everything off YouTube. So, as a career, I'm a RDD technician for Atlas Copco here in town, and I deal with drilling consumables for drills. So that's my job. Passion and pastime, I guess, spending time with my family, and spend time with my family and work, learning new things. Basically, I like coding and drawing on CAD and all that kind of stuff. So cool. So we'll talk a little bit about how this podcast, how we came about to do this podcast, basically. Me and Colin, we're working on a makerspace project here for Labrador West, and we're looking for a way to reach out to people and get the people to understand the concept of our makerspace, and we're looking at maybe like doing presentation down at the Arts and Culture Center, and we didn't really know how many people would actually show up and if it was worth to do all that put that energy in that presentation. So we said I was sitting at home yesterday, and some guys from home are doing a podcast. They just started. They're like episode 5 now, and I'm right into it. And I don't know. It's kind of fun to be able to just sit on your couch and listen to people talk and listen to what they got to say. So I figured, why don't we just try? Why don't we just try to do a podcast, and we'll do episode 1, and you never know. Maybe we'll be doing episode 2. We don't know yet. So this is the way we're going to reach out to our community, basically to explain our project and explain basically what we got to do, what we're planning on to do with the shed. So Colin, you got anything to add on that?
Yeah, no, like I said, that I'm pretty sure that pretty much covers everything. It's just like I said, it's just we wanna convey our passion for, I guess, the makerspace and the maker mentality, and we want to bring everyone else in that's interested in that, and I guess that area into the makerspace.
Cool. Yeah. So I guess we'll talk about this podcast too. Like I guess if this goes good, episode 1, and we do get to episode 2. I think it'd be a good place to invite people from the community and sit down with us and have chat about innovation and technologies, and I guess like the arts and crafts around here, and I don't know, the history of this place too. I'd like to sit down with some people that has good stories about the history of Labrador City, And I don't know, if we ever make it to episode 2 and 3, maybe we'll get some people that wants to come down with us and chat, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Cool. All right. So now we're gonna start talking a little bit about the Makerspace project, which is the Shed Labrador West Makerspace. You can basically find us on Facebook. We got a Facebook page. We're trying to get as many people to like our page, so it only takes a second. So jump on your Facebook, do a search, Labrador West Makerspace. That's where this podcast is going to be, so you can watch it there. Like the page and share the page. That's going to help us a lot. So you're going to see later, it's a great project for the community, and I think a lot of people are going to be able to use that space for their projects. Right on. So talk a little bit about how we came up with the name The Shed.
Yeah, so I guess like that, we everything seems to start as a joke between us.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
So we were kicking ideas back and forth on names. And so basically we finally settled on the Shed. The reason being that everything that in Newfoundland and Labrador, it started in the Shed. If
Yeah.
you want to start a project, you start it in the Shed.
Yeah, it started in the shed with a couple buddies, having fun. Yeah, when we're kicking back names, me and Colin, and I was actually stuck in traffic. Imagine stuck in traffic in the Vermont highway here at the bridge. There was like a wide load on the bridge or something, and we're texting. I'm parked on the side of the road. We're texting, and like Colin sent me a bunch of texts. We're most of the stuff didn't make any sense. Like we're like, where are we going with this, right? And then Colin sent me watershed. I was like, watershed? Like, I was like, whoa, wait a minute, the shed. That would be so cool. So anyway, so I text him back like in big bold letter, the shed. And yeah, so that's how it kind of started. So, and then when we started thinking about it more and more, the more and more it actually fits in. It's a space. It's going to be a space with tools and people that hangs out together and makes stuff. So, yeah. So that's how the name came out. The name. So yeah, I guess the idea of we'll talk a little bit about how the project, like what we want to achieve with the project, basically. So the shed would be I think it's we call it like a community hub, really, social place where people can get together, work on project, learn new tools, learn new technologies, play with CAD, there's going to be a lot of things packed up in that little space that people here can use, either to do craft or, it's going to be very diverse. Like you'll see here later, we kind of split it up in 10 different spaces that we're going to look at later here, so you guys can have a look and see what fits your bill, really. And so really we'd like to base it a lot on innovation and innovation and learning and inviting the community, inviting the businesses to jump in, to help us with that project. There's going to be a lot of great things for local businesses in there. There's going to be a lot of great things for businesses that want to start up or small businesses already exist. And I think our youth also is going to find a lot of great things out of that project. Whether it's just a fun and a passion for what they want to do in their life, they're going to be able to access that space and learn how to use a welding machine. They might not become a great welder right away, but they'll be there, they'll try, they'll make mistakes, they'll learn, they'll know if they like it before they do make a life choice and go to college and do their education for the proper education, right? And another place where it's going to be good for, let's say, college student. You go to college and then you get out of college and then you don't sometimes around here is not really the case, but some places they don't hire you if you don't have any background or any experience. So you can go in a place like the Shed and work on your own project and make a nice portfolio. Bring that with your resume when you go for a job interview and say look, I just got out of college and this is what I did. Look at my job. That's my work. So I think that speaks a lot for itself, and it could be a great place for people to use. Yeah,
it's an excellent place to teach and to learn at the same time. We have a lot of really diverse skill sets in this area, and we'd like to listen. I would love to learn about sewing, about that piece. I have no idea. So that'll be a really good. It's a really good space for that. It's basically to take our community and to build a community that it doesn't matter about your age, it doesn't matter about your experience, your education. You can come in there and it's a space to collaborate together and build whatever you like and whatever you can imagine.
Yeah, exactly. That's good, man. All right. So what else we got in here? So we're gonna just, what we'll do, we'll just flip around a couple slides here. We got some slides. You guys might not be able to see it on this video. We'll cut in and paste some real good.
Yeah, some real nice stuff.
All right. So we started surveying the community. We did there's a survey right now on SurveyMonkey going around. It's available on our Facebook page. You guys can click on the survey and fill the survey. That survey is what is going to help us get numbers together to get that project on the go. So we're gonna bring those numbers. That's what's gonna go into our feasibility study. So it's very, very important that we get as many as we can. We need to show the people who are going to support the project, the people who are going to support it with financing. We need to show them that we want that here in Labrador West, and that we're willing to support it. So we started a survey. We have right now we're standing about a 246 survey fill, which is very good. We get a lot of people that filled it, different age group, and it's giving us a lot of good information. So we were able to split our space in 10 different area where we found that people would have interest in. So we'll just go over all those 10 spaces, and then we'll explain you a little bit of what we're seeing in those spaces and what you could do with them, right? Right, Colin. So I'll let you go out with the first one.
Yeah, sure. So the first workspace we're looking at is like a creative workstation. So basically, this would be, you'd have your computers and your software. Software could range from, design software. We like Fusion 360, which is a free 3D design software from Autodesk.
We shouldn't say free.
It's a free to use as long as you're not making more than $150,000.
Yeah. There's clause in the contract you guys can read, but if you're making under $100,000 a year, you can actually download the software.
Accessible software.
Yeah, it's accessible. You can learn online. There's a huge community, like tutorials and everything. So
that's fair.
Okay, yeah.
And then we would have Adobe Creative Center basically. So for those people who are doing photography, for doing multimedia, we would have those softwares available.
That's great. Yeah. All right. So, can you go back to that?
Oh, sorry, wrong way.
Yeah, that's fine. So and the second space that we would have available there would be like I call it the dirty workspace. It's a space where you can do painting, take apart I don't know, hair dryer to take the motor out of it, or whatever you want to do. Put your 3D prints together, or like a place where you work with hand tools basically, and it doesn't matter if you get it dirty a little bit. You just got to clean it up when you're done and let the next person have a clean space to use. And there would be all kinds of different hand tools in there. So like you can see in that picture there, that's actually a picture I stole on the internet, so I hope I don't get copyrighted.
In too much trouble.
Yeah. It's actually a tech shop too, and it's like, yeah, it's a privately owned makerspace in the States. I actually had a chance to visit one in San Francisco, and it was amazing to see what those people are in there are doing. The one I visited, there's you guys know that little square card reader that you can put in your phone to swipe cards. Like the guy who invented it actually did the first prototyping in there. So it was pretty cool to see that. So that's the second place. Third space, I'll let Colin talk about it a little bit there.
Oh, sorry.
Take a drink of tea.
Yeah, it's gone. There we go. Yeah, so I guess the third space would be your digital fabrication. So that's going to encompass a number of different pieces. So we'd have 3D printing, laser cutting and engraving. So you would be able to come into this area and develop a functional prototype. The idea is that it'd be two form. It wouldn't necessarily be your final prototype, but it gives you a good fitment. It lets you put something in your hand, basically.
Yeah, when it comes to design and prototyping new invention or whatever you may want to, you can use you always start off with like having a plan in your head and building it on a CAD, and then you can show that to people. Like, it's hard to convey your idea just by telling someone, but when you use a CAD software, you can really show what you had in mind. But then when you can 3D print the part and hold it in your hand, like that's when the light goes on for me, for some like a lot of people too. Like, they just get it because it's physical, different. It's there, and you're holding it. Yeah,
exactly. Entirely different feeling when you put something in your hand, and then you can find other problems that you might not see when you're CAD designing as well. So that's the idea of 3D printing. It's also very relatively quick, and it lets you, like I said, you can print something off. If it doesn't work, well, listen, it costs you a couple cents to make that mistake.
Yeah, it's no big deal. So in our space, we would have those tools available there. One thing that's good in that space too is like the laser cutter. Like you can actually cut wood with it. Like it's, I don't know, like 1/4 inch thick plywood and stuff. So, and you can engrave plywood. And so if you're into making crafts or art or whatever you want to do, Christmas presents or whatever, you can come in, learn how to use the software, and then learn how to use the machine.
Yep.
And you're on your way. You do your own stuff. You come in and you do what you want.
So yeah, the next piece would be about the controls and electronics portion. So the world we live in today is going. It's everything is integrated now with electronics. So one thing, these pieces they're readily available now, like your Arduinos, your Raspberry Pis, and there's all kinds of breakup boards.
Mike stealing their
Mike
tidbits
stealing
over there. All right.
So all these pieces they're like electronic Lego now at this point, and like the programming for Arduinos and things. There's awesome communities out there for if you want to whatever you want to program basically.
Yeah.
So that would be the idea behind this area.
Yeah. You don't need to have I guess a computer degree.
No, God no.
You just need to have one thing, and is the will to learn.
Exactly.
And, you just spend a couple hours on your computer and look at codes made and listen to a couple tutorials. You can actually download blocks of code and upload it in there to get your stuff to work. So it's pretty cool. I think by having the electronic and controls, you can add a lot to your project. Like you can start making stuff light up, move, or text someone, or it just opens up the door to so many things. All right, so it's 5. Okay, textile. I don't know how to use a sewing machine or embroidery machine myself, but I know a lot of people around town does.
Yep.
There might be a lot of interest to have like seminars on sewing or on quilt making or things like that. So what we see in that space is like mostly like smaller equipment like sewing machines and embroidery machines, and we'll see what we can stack in there, I guess. It depends on those spaces are all depending on which space we're actually going to have to, but that's we want to fit it in there somehow.
Absolutely, yeah.
And it'd be very great for the people to be able to get together and work on stuff.
Exactly, like especially living in our area, maybe you're making a winter jacket, or maybe you're making something for King's Quest or something along those lines.
Yeah,
right.
Even like I don't know, I was thinking of like bags for skidoos, or
absolutely,
like you can start making a lot of things when you think about it. So now another spot we're gonna have in there is actually a woodworking shop. So any woodworker out there likes to do woodworking, they're gonna be able to come in, bring their own wood, and use our machine to transform it into their creation. So there's gonna be some manual woodworking equipment, some jointers, planners, and table saws and everything. And there's also going to be some CNC router. So if you're interested into learning how to program the router, you can come in and get the router to cut a piece of wood. You can, do a sign for your cabin or whatever you might want to do. Again, you can make gifts or all kinds of stuff. So I think it opens up. I think the CNC router is going to open up the it's a pad for a lot of new things, especially like when you're talking about like the arts groups that are doing like presentation and like dance shows and all that stuff, and they need decoration. You can basically 3D scan the Arts and Culture Center and build all your prototypes and everything you want on the CAD here, and send the parts down to the CNC router and get them cut. Yeah. And then you can paint them, and you're ready to go, right? So I think we're going to be able to make a lot more intricate designs when it comes to that kind of stuff. So
yeah, prop making will be that'd be awesome for prop making. You can see some skidoo slides being made there too.
Yeah, some slides and stuff. Yeah, there's going to be lots of great things in that woodworking shop.
Oh, and then I guess the next. Oh, hold on a second there. The next piece would be, and just switching over here. 1 second.
Where are you going?
Nope, we're good.
Okay, good.
I don't have my computer in that sync. So the next piece would be about the metalworking area, basically. So we would have a small welding area. It's not going to be a big welding area, but a small welding area to do physical just welding.
Yeah.
So we're not going to be training welders in this area, but you can come here and learn to weld.
Yeah.
Right. And there will be hopefully professional welders there who can give you a hand.
Yeah,
That would be
definitely.
the intent.
That's the whole idea behind this too. It's like we want people to share their knowledge too. Like be able to make courses, teach people, show them stuff, and just pay it forward really, just to help the other people behind you and to learn new things.
Exactly, because like myself and Eric were pretty familiar with, I'll say, the like the CNC type of equipment, and I feel like I could teach a 30-year-old welder how to use a CNC machine, but I could certainly learn a lot from him when it comes to welding.
Yeah, that's just what it is, right? And I mean, like lots of projects we're gonna build or do or try or inventions or anything. Like you need to know how to weld and you need to know how to cut the pieces and all that. So we're planning on having a CNC plasma cutter in there. Like it's not gonna be a big welding shop. Like I mean, there's not gonna be a overhead crane or nothing like that. Like it's just to build small home projects. So maybe a 4x4 plasma cutter in there and like a TIG welding boot and a MIG welding boot.
Yeah, not intended to compete with Carroll Lake Metalworks.
Yeah, no, definitely not. No. Yeah. So that's going to be the metalworking shop. So lots of great things in there. There's going to be we're going to put some machinery too, like CNC machines for. Well, depends on I guess the fund that we can raise.
Exactly, but the intent would be to have CNC, like a CNC laser, or maybe a small CNC a water jet cutter would be awesome as well.
Yeah.
But again, it entirely depends on the funding we secure.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. So if you're hearing this and you want to sponsor a little bit, so just let us know.
Yeah, we've got some good corporate sponsors coming forward. But definitely. We're always open to sponsorship.
Yeah, since we started this project, like I mean, like it's just a project right now. That's all it is. And some people actually contacted us to give us great things, like and help, and like the people are really getting in on it. And I think like from today, like our biggest issue was just to get the people, like the community, to understand the concept, like. They see. I'm sure most of them seen it on Facebook, and lots of people filled it on the survey, but we didn't do a great job at explaining what it was basically, and that's what we're trying to convey in this podcast here today. So another thing that we're gonna have in there is a tool library. So in the tool library, you're gonna have hand tools and power tools and all kinds of different things. So the way a tool library works is when you become a member of the Makerspace, you can use you're gonna have basically like a gym. You're gonna have a pod like a little RFID tag, and that's what you're gonna use to like basically power up machines and go through the door first and then power up machines and then and when you can use that chip too to go to the tool library and you can borrow tools and you can bring them home. So if you're doing any projects at home and you don't have a drop saw or something like that, there'll be one there. I don't know what conditions it's going to be, but you'll be able to borrow it and use it at your place and then bring it back, hopefully in one piece.
Yeah, that would be the intent, yes.
Yeah. Okay, so okay, so I'm talking about this. We're in 2018, I guess, and digital photography, filmography, podcasts like we're trying to do now, it's starting to grow. Well, it's not starting to grow. It has grown a lot.
Huge,
it's there, and I think it needs to be done. It needs to be done more, and especially when it comes to us here in Labrador West, we're a little bit out of the way of everything, and like if we want to create like little businesses that can sell stuff online, we need to be able to take professional pictures of their creation. And I think a space like this would be perfect. Like the people there could basically build their crafts, and then some photographer could come in and give them a hand to set up a booth, and then they would have perfect lighting to do it, and then take the pictures of the parts. And then somebody else in the space could set up an online shop for their product, and then use the proper pictures and make it look good, right? And another reason we could really use a multimedia studio is like, let's say during Kane's Quest would be a fantastic place to set up like a TV set, like build a nice TV set out of the makerspace, make it look very nice,
Yep. And that's
put it in there, and then you can have CRS use it, while they're doing all their interviews and everything, and the Cane's Quest. So I think like that's the thing behind the shed. Like, we want to enable all the other organization to do better and just to help them like go get more. Like, that's what we want to do. Like, just get people together.
Yep. We want to show what this area has a lot to offer. We want to show what we have, what we can do, and what we can offer.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
And by putting all these different groups together, I can't see anything but good coming out of it.
Yeah, no, definitely. And all right, here we're going to talk a little bit about business incubators. So we wanted to try to fit in a business incubator. So what that is basically if you have a small business, or if you do, I don't know, if you want to start a business, or
if you operate a home-based business
home-based business, yeah. And if you're like a, I don't know, graphic designer or photographer or anything, you can actually become part of the business incubator and rent a small space to run your business, to start your business, or to run it if you don't need more than that. And it gets you out of the house, it gets you a place to go, and you can sit down and work, and you can and the biggest thing is going to be that you can interact with people and make business connection and meet new people, and just the whole networking of it. I think that's for the business incubator, I think that's the big thing. And also, like, if you're running, I don't know, a craft business, you can run it out of there. Have a place to sit, to work at your computer, and all that stuff. And I think it just fits in. It just fits in with the project. So I think we're going for it.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's roll that.
Cool. So yeah. So that was a 10 different space that we plan on having here at the shed. I don't know what else we talk about. Maybe just a little bit of I guess.
Well, I guess right now we're in the the needs assessment. We're nearly finalized, I'll say, the needs assessment stage.
Yeah.
But we really right now we need to put together a board. That's our next big step.
Yeah.
So we need to get people on board, basically.
Yeah. We need your help.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. We're gonna need a lot of help. If you're interested in any of the 10 spaces that we talked about there, like it's a place for you. And we're gonna need people to help us with those spaces too. And I think under the board there's gonna be a lot of volunteers also. And absolutely. If you're looking into maybe like being a team leader for one of those spaces, like if you're really like woodworking, you can become a team leader for the woodworking shop. And if you become a leader fast enough, you can even probably choose what's going to go in there.
Yeah, exactly.
Because like that's pretty close to our next step, is to like basically go shopping and get our list together and stuff, so we know how much this project's going to cost. And that's where we're at now. So if you are interested in helping or anything, just you can give us a shout. We got an email. You can email. It's info at theshedlabrador.ca. So info at theshedlabrador.ca. Or you can just leave us a line on our Facebook page in the message. Comment on the pictures, videos. Like, and we need to get the people to get a little bit more into.
Interactive, basically.
Yeah,
right?
interactive.
Well, on the description, we'll include all of the information as well, so you can get a hold of us if you want to.
Cool, yeah. And okay, so I don't know. I think just to close this up here. I think do we need to say anything? Like, okay. Oh yeah, I want to say a big thank you to the Gateway Labrador organization for letting us like borrow their gear,
borrow all of their stuff,
and sit here in their beautiful space museum that they got. And I think their help's going to be a big help for us for sure. And hopefully once we got our project going, we can be a big help for them. And that's what it's all about. Yeah. And what else do we have here? Did I have something else? Let's see.
Talk about the gone the wrong way. Talk about inner workings.
Yeah, inner workings a little bit. Yeah, you can start off, maybe talk a little bit of how like people's gonna have access to it. And we didn't even say it's a non-profit.
That's what I was thinking. I was like, we probably should have started with that.
Yeah. So it's gonna be run underneath a non-profit. We're thinking maybe a cooperative model. We're not 100% sure yet. There's a lot of like. It's going to start off as a non-profit for sure. It might turn into a co-op afterwards. So if we see needs, but yeah, so it's going to be nonprofit. So everything that we charge, or it's going straight to the space to operate it, to maintain the machine. Hopefully, we'll be able to be big enough to have some employees there to help you. That's kind of what the money's going to go at.
Yeah, like, and our goal is to keep it accessible. So that's why we want to run as a nonprofit. We want to keep the membership as low as reasonably possible.
Yeah.
To maintain all of our assets, but also to make sure everyone can come to the makerspace.
Yeah. Anyway, yeah, for reasonably accessible. So, so yeah, I think that covers everything. So, I think we'll just do a closing argument or
Closing
but,
argument.
But anyway, so I think, well, even like the podcast, like the first 5 minutes was not fun.
Nope.
But after that, I think it was a little bit better. So
I think it was not as bad as I thought it was going to be.
no way. And yeah, so I think I want to do episode 2. So yeah, you never know. Maybe we'll have an episode 2. We'll try to find some stuff here, and we'll give us another 2 weeks after this one, and
Do
we'll see
episode 2 before we do have to do an episode 1.
Yeah. Right on. So we just want to say thank you to everybody that took the time to listen to this podcast today, and we really appreciate if you can support our project. And I'm sure there's going to be a lot of great things for yourself, for your kids, for
everyone.
Yeah, for other organization, businesses, the industry around here. I think lots of great things can come out of that space, and the only thing we really need now is your support. So like that Facebook page and
fill out
that survey. Yeah, and yeah, that's it. Well, we're done for today.
Yeah, thanks for your time.
Thank you very much. Bye.